Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take all the local news, operational stuff for the Channel Islands Harbor and kind of distill it into one easy conversation for you.
Yeah, we've got the last 7 days covered. That's November 3rd through the 9th. And we've mapped out what's coming up November 10th through the 16th.
Right.
Our mission today really is to sum up everything from, weekend fun to the detailed work that keeps our beaches looking so good.
Okay, let's unpack that. Starting with last weekend, November 8th and 9th. It really felt like a great mix, commerce and culture, right there by the water.
It really did. If you look at the main spots, the Waterside Certified Farmers Market was definitely a big draw on Sunday the 9th that ran from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And what's cool there isn't just like how many people show up, but the variety. You're talking over 30 farmers every week, bringing produce right to the harbor, plus baked goods, crafts, sometimes even live music. It really sets that spot, 3600 South Harbor Boulevard, as the place to be Sunday morning.
Absolutely. And just down the road a bit, the Channel Islands Maritime Museum, CIMM, that offered a quieter, more cultural vibe.
Yeah.
It was open both Saturday and Sunday from noon till 4 p.m.
I think maybe people don't always realize just how good the stuff inside CIM is. This isn't, just local art projects. The source material mentions world-class maritime art. Some pieces go way back to 1622.
It's quite the collection.
Yeah.
And what's really special is the display of Ed Marple's work, the master modeler. His entire life's work is there.
Wow.
Seeing those detailed models, even his workshop setup, it gives you this incredible sense of history and craft. You don't often find that outside of, major city museums. So, yeah, good dose of history if you're there.
Okay, shifting gears to getting active. The harbor rentals were buzzing. Wheel Fun Rentals down at Hook's Landing.
Right.
They had people moving with surreys, bikes, tandems, both days, noon to 5 p.m.
And for folks wanting that real local feel, getting out on the water, the Channel Islands Kayak Center was open even longer, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That early start is smart.
It is. If you got out there before noon, chances are you saw some great wildlife. Seals, seabirds. Things are calmer then.
That's a great tip right there. Kayaking gives you that up-close look at the local environment doing well.
Definitely.
And finally, wrapping up the weekend spots, the Channel Islands Yacht Club, CIYC, they kept the social scene going.
Bar hours, Saturday night till midnight, Sunday afternoon till 7 p.m. And they usually have dining on Saturdays, too.
They really are an anchor for the social life here, even as it gets a bit cooler.
Yeah, they are. Now, we've talked about how nice it is for everyone, whether cycling by the water or kayaking.
Right.
But the real unsung heroes, they're the crews making sure that shoreline is safe, clean, and accessible every single morning.
Okay, this is where the deep dive really gets deep. We're moving into the infrastructure behind all that fun, specifically the careful maintenance for Silver Strand Beach.
Exactly.
We all see a clean beach, but you don't always think about the detailed year-round plan making it happen.
You don't. And the core thing to know about scheduling is that all the maintenance, beach, easements, restrooms, parking lots, it's concentrated in the morning to minimize disruption.
So early birds doing the work.
Pretty much. For the sand itself, heavy equipment is usually off the beach before noon. Facility maintenance, like restrooms, often done before 11 a.m.
Let's talk about that heavy machinery, because it's surprisingly specific. I saw they use a dedicated 5100 MBA John Deere tractor with a Barber surf rake for grooming and sanitizing weekly. Is that rake common? What makes it right for Silver Strand?
Well, the Barber surf rake is pretty much an industry standard for this kind of work. And specifying the tractor model, the 5100 ME John Deere, just shows they're serious about having the right reliable gear.
Okay.
But what's really key isn't just the machine, it's the rules around using it. These sources really stress that mechanized equipment stays strictly on the dry sand areas.
And that means they keep that strict 10-foot buffer zone. Why is it 10 feet from the rack line, the high tide line, so critical? Is that just for the environment?
Mostly, yes. It minimizes the impact on that intertidal zone, where all the little critters live and nutrients cycle.
Right.
Plus, they keep that same 10-foot buffer from the beach houses for safety and property protection. It's a very clear line they maintain.
Literally a line in the sand.
Huh? Yeah, pretty much.
And getting the equipment on and off the beach is controlled too, isn't it? They can't just drive anywhere.
Correct. Only two spots. The Silver Strand parking lot access or the La Janelle parking lot access, that discipline stops unnecessary damage or erosion across the rest of the beach, which is always shifting naturally anyway.
Speaking of shifting sand, The maintenance team also deals with 21 public access easements, about 10 feet wide, right?
That's right.
And after high tides or wind, they get filled with sand, blocking access.
And this is where their careful approach really shows. They clear that sand, sometimes weekly. But where does it go?
Not hauled away, right?
Exactly. They don't dump it. That would be costly and bad for the beach system. Instead, they carefully put it back onto the beach surface.
Okay, how does that work?
They spread it out, maybe up to 150 feet towards the water from where they cleared it.
Right.
And here's the clever part. They make sure all that redistributed sand stays above the highest monthly high tide line.
Ah, so it's not just cleaning, it's managing the beach profile.
Precisely. It's using the sand that's already there to help stabilize and build up the dry part of the beach.
Yeah.
It shows they really understand how the coast works.
That's pretty sophisticated stuff for just keeping paths clear. And that careful method applies to daily trash pickup, too.
It does. The harbor maintenance team is out there every day, year-round, emptying the bins.
Okay.
When they use those 4WD trucks for collection, they stick to a specific route well above the high tide line, and they keep the speed down, below 10 miles per hour.
That 10-mile-per-hour limit, it's not just red tape.
Nope. It's about protecting the wildlife, minimizing disturbance on the sand, protecting the very environment people come to enjoy.
Okay, that detailed look at the maintenance really shows why the harbor runs so smoothly. Let's shift focus now, look ahead. What's happening from today, Monday, November 10th, through next Sunday, the 16th?
All right, the midweek schedule is key for planning. If you're thinking culture, CIMM, the Maritime Museum, is open today, Monday, noon to 4 p.m.
But closed Tuesday and Wednesday.
Correct. Doors shut tomorrow and Wednesday, but it reopens Thursday and Friday, same hours, noon to 4 p.m.
So if you want that quiet museum time, maybe see that old 1622 art without the weekend crowds. Monday, Thursday, or Friday afternoon is your best bet this week.
Good strategy. Meanwhile, the Channel Islands Kayak Center is a steady optional week. Open weekdays noon to 5 p.m. Perfect for an afternoon paddle, especially after that morning maintenance window closes.
Makes sense. And evenings, the Yacht Club.
Yep, GIYC is active. Tonight, Monday, the bar's open 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. But here's a good tip. Dining is available on Wednesday night.
Oh, okay.
The bar's open 5 to 9 then, too. And they finish the week with bar hours Friday, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m.
That Wednesday night dining is probably nice for people coming off work or maybe finishing up sailing.
Yeah, a good, reliable local spot midweek.
Looking to next weekend then, November 15th and 16th, things snap back to the usual.
Pretty much. Wheel Fun Rentals, CIMM, both running their normal weekend hours, noon to 4 for the museum, noon to 5 for the rentals.
And the farmer's market.
Back again next Sunday, November 16th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you missed out on produce this past Sunday, you've got another chance.
Okay, now before we wrap up, there's a call out for local boaters, looking just a bit further ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Registration is open now for the big one, the 59th Annual Parade of Lights.
And the theme sounds fun this year.
It does. Sleigh bells and spurs, a rockin' rodeo boat parade. So if you're a boater, now's the time to start thinking about decorating and getting registered for that. It's always a huge community event.
Definitely. So what's the big takeaway here? We've gone from beach maintenance details to weekend plans. It feels like the harbor is just humming along, ready for the week.
I think the biggest point is that the clean beaches and easy access don't just happen magically. That detailed plan, the specific rake, the 10-foot buffers, carefully moving sand, means you can really count on a safe, clean place every time you visit.
And connecting that back. The strict rules about no recreational driving on the beach make total sense now.
Right. It's only for those trained maintenance crews and, of course, emergency vehicles. That discipline protects the whole ecosystem and keeps the beach great for everyone.
So this brings up a question for you, the listener. Knowing now how and when the harbor does its routine morning maintenance, mostly wrapping up before noon, how might that shift when you plan your next trip down to Silver Strand Beach this week?
Something to think about.
All right, plan your week, check out the museum, enjoy that clean sand. Thanks for diving deep into the Channel Islands harbor with us.
We'll catch you next time for more local updates.